Hey people, Intrude here, 3v3, Hades Wastes, blue team, whole bunch of chaos stuff going on. Here is solid SQUIG with a Chaos Lord, durable and destructive hero, moves through objects and cannot be suppressed, powerful offense and disruption fights in melee combat. Alongside, CeeJay 232 is a plague champion, starts off in ranged combat with a damage over time bolter, can get melee weapons, some decent utility and support, can build turrets and repair, but is pretty slow. The jaw is hanging off as well. Thousand Suns elite scheme over there. Rounding off the team here, Potters is a Chaos Sorcerer, offensive and disruptive hero with powerful battlefield manipulation and control. Alpha Legion elite scheme. Red team then, Koda and Pope Vader are rocking Force Commanders. Very good offense, fights in melee combat, can also tank, disrupt and support with buffs. Rounding off the team, warMOOSE, the capital letters there are important, I'm sure, with a Lord Commissar, strong offense and support, fights in melee combat, begins with a refractor field. Here's the solid SQUIG on the western side with that contested VP. Heretics moving in. Where's that worship? Where's that corny worship? There we go. +2 speed on this guy. Has anyone ever figured out, like tested it and stuff, because I haven't, if the worshipping the Chaos Lord at the start of the game is worth it? A lot of players do that ever since Chaos Rising landed, because it gives your Chaos Lord +2 speed to get out to cap something, but of course for those 3 or 4 seconds your heretics aren't moving, so I'd assume it doesn't work out to be beneficial, but I wonder if anyone's ever figured it out for sure, just timed it or something, doing it both ways. Plague Champion being chased by tactical marines. Get back to the game here. What's going on over here? Doom bolts flying in, double heretics chasing things like little puppies, aren't they? The Doom Blasters fellas have to run. Sentinel does not have, does have the ground pound. Maybe it already used it. Still chasing that Plague Champion over there. West side is red. Force Commander helping clear solid SQUIG out of there, I suppose. We've got some more heretics. More guardsmen, of course. More heretics also for Potters. Double CSM for CeeJay. Those tactical marines got caught. Chased too far towards Potters. So 1-to-1 cap very early on. CSM getting knocked around by those Force Commanders. This could be very nasty if these guys do well. Get a bunch of XP and that war gear going. Those guys very lucky not to drop a model there. Doom bolts really wrecked them. Force Commander tearing through heretics. Does very well against heretics early on with his on-demand battle cry. There it is. Knocking back some CSM. Well, on demand if it's off cooldown, that is. Grenade. Moves just in time to avoid a model loss, I think, there. Solid SQUIG. Heretics trying to cap. Uh-oh, shotguns getting in their face, doing tons of damage. They do get out of there. Here comes the Chaos Lord. Starts off, of course, with that 26 DPS power melee weapon. Doesn't have the fancy sword though, this guy. Needs to rank up his chaos a bit more. Got 2 gens up. What about you fellas? 3 gens up. Assault squad on the way for Koda. Catachans for warMOOSE. And nobody wants to grab the VP. Solid SQUIG not realizing that he's basically here alone. Not anymore though. There's a sentinel come all the way over from the eastern side, warMOOSE. We have, Aura of Disciplines going on already. Some CSM wandering around the mid. Sorcerer's upset with the node. They're going for the VP. And with warMOOSE over here, it looks like they're going to get it. Lord Commissar now goes in on the Chaos Lord, maybe? Oh, he's going for the heretics. Chaos Lord gets a decent kill a week, although not sure how low his health was then. But he got a decent one. Now going for the Combi Flamer. Assault squad jumping in with that disruption. Heretic trying to get on them with the Doom Blast. There it is. Need to be careful though. Plague Champion's hanging around. He does have some fantastic anti-melee capability. No war gear yet. This is a dead Lord Commissar. Havoc's up now for CeeJay. Still kicking off in the mid. Chaos Lord's in a bad spot. Tried to immolate some guardsmen. Just couldn't help himself. And got chopped down by Assault Squad. These guys having an instant impact for Koda and for Pope Vader. Those guys out of there though. Decent jump again. Heretics there to counter-initiate. Need to get some aspiring champions for these fellas. Not only are they decent fighters, but they make the Doom Blast scarier. Increases the health of the heretics, which is what scales the Doom Blast damage up. Raptors now for solid SQUIG. Chaos Lord down in a pretty tough place to get to, I think. Loads of dead heretics, as you'd expect. Havoc's getting jumped. CSM also got caught. All this stuff could pile into melee, though. This is where you want to switch your CSM to melee. Get in on those assault squad fellas. Yeah, they should have got into melee there. They would have done so much damage. The CSM. Those guys get away with a single model. I think if the CSM went in, they'd have been out much sooner, or they would have been down. Here are the Raptors. Much like Assault Marines, they're a jump squad in tier 1 with heavy armor, but these guys with less hit points and more DPS, they also suppress when they land rather than disrupt. Sorcerer's going to get a revive, and they might get the VP too. Decent engagement for Chaos. Killed a couple of Assault Marines, which is a decent toll on the economy. Got to reinforce them with power and requisition, and they're not cheap. 75 and 8. That's pretty rough. It's hard to kill them though, so it's to be expected. Raptor's nice and healthy at full health, and Chaos Lord runs away. Look at this. Chaos fully populating this eastern contested power. Looks like the Space Marines want to steal it by downing the node. And there's no attempt to stop this at the moment. That is Potter's side, right? I think. Yes. And what is going on with warMOOSE? Have they just abandoned the west side? Now here they are. East side, sorry. The mid player is just here for now. Bashing the node. Took a while for the melee squads to go in there for some reason. Expecting some resistance maybe. Now the scouts are trying to cap it. Tactical Marines, Assault Marines, and a Force Commander with Power Sword, Alacrity, and Sacred Standard. So he's going for this support build. Power Sword makes his battle cry better. Alacrity allows him to move around, support his Assault Marines. And we've got a Sacred Standard now. Constant damage bonus for all of that allied infantry. And if you want to try and kill him to stop it, it just makes the bonus better. There's a jump. Those guardsmen got wrecked there. Can they be taken out? They can be taken out. Stomp on the Raptors. Assault squad getting in. There's double Doom Blasting Heretics though in there, I think. Being tossed around though. They're going to take out the Assault squad surely. Yes, the Aspiring Champion got it. Raptors now jumping in. Pope Vader with a little bit of a rush of blood to the head. Way too overexcited there. Left this ASM in for way too long. Tactical Marines might drop. I think they're going to drop. There's too much stuff shooting at them. That was a pretty devastating engagement for Pope Vader. Just as I bigged up how great this supporting Force Commander is going to be, his army falls over. Replaces the Assault Squad. Plague Champion level 2. Done well, despite the lack of war gear. Seems to have been involved in a lot of stuff. Double CSM now trying to shoot down the Lord Commissar. He's got his Power Sword, but now must run. 2-to-1 cap for the red team, but for how long? After Vader's losses, we have a Plasma Cannon. Costing 15 power these days, which is pretty mental. Like 10 years almost of being no power. All of a sudden it costs 15. Pretty big change. Scout squad. Shotguns bashing, are they? What are they doing? No. Having a look. They're a little bit static here, the red team, although maybe they sense the losses of Vader and don't want to push too far. Scout's got this wreck point though, that's pretty good. Talking about static, what's going on here, fellas? Plague Champion's got a Plague Fist, now going for the Armor of Pestilence and maybe an Icon of Nurgle or something. Sentinel's level 2. Frag Missile trying to get shots on the CSM, who did grab the power, but they didn't note it, so it's just going to change hands again. Yeah, the Chaos team really not pushing after the big losses from Pope Vader. Here we go. Raptors now have their Aspiring Champion. Going after the Assault Squad, who don't have one. Is this Vader's squad? No. These guys with no Sergeant. That's what I meant by don't have one. They can't get an aspiring champion, obviously. Force Commander, though, with a Thunderhammer is making them regret the jump. Thunderhammer is awesome anti-melee and disruption, but he's going to go down. Caught by a Plague Champion. Boom. Fist to the head. A bit late to say too, Koda. A little bit late. Here's a Chaos Dreadnought. We have Blastmaster Noise Marines. Where are they going? Contested VPs over there, fellas. I don't know what they're up to. Oh, they're trying to cover the mid, really? I guess it's covering something. This is fun. Some heretics attacking the others, is cheering them on. Look at them literally cheering them on. Come on, fellas, you get the node. They did it. Well done. Could have gotten this VP here. 387 to 433. Chimera up for warMOOSE. More Tactical Marines for Koda. Wouldn't expect to see Tactical Marines purchased in Tier 3 unless you're recovering, because a player would tend to use the drop pod to get them or something. Missile launcher for Tactical Marines of Pope Vader to try and deal with this Chaos Dreadnought. Starts off with an autocannon. Chaos Lord here with Mantle of Hate and the Demonic Visage. Disruption. And lots of shots for the Chaos Lord's head. Plasma Cannon's going to set up and could get some nasty shots on groups of heretics and stuff. There's a Shrine to Nurgle in the mid. Why would you not put it on the contested VP? We'll see how it does. They just basically let the red team cap there. A little bit sloppy from the blue team. And now CeeJay's trying to go in alone. Where did Solid Squig go? I'm hearing the Dreadnought. Where is it? Oh, they're defending the power or something here. Fair enough. There's Drain Life on the Force Commander, who now's trying to tie up the Dreadnought. Missile launcher getting shots in. Chaos Lord should be tying those guys up, and is not. In fact, what is he doing? He's just leaving. Raptors getting wrecked. Looks like they're going to be okay. Probably. Blastmaster are trying to get shots, but I'm not sure why they're sitting in the mid with a Shrine covering a single wreck point. But look at this. Potters gets on the gens with a bunch of heretics, I mean. Doom bolts. Oh, it's a nice Doom bolts. Everything reinforcing off the Chimera, of course. Guardsmen 2 at a time with their sergeant. They defended the power bash. Did some good work though, those heretics. And here comes CeeJay with some raptors and heretics and double Marco Zinch CSM with aspiring champions. Need to turn and shoot those fellas. There we go. Vanguard veterans for Koda. They have a bunch of power weapons. These are first company assault marines. Limited to 1. Nurgle Shrine suppressing them, as you see there. Decent shot by the Blastmaster. Vanguard veterans did a lot of work there. And the armies just followed them in. Down goes the Chimera. Was that just 2 Blastmaster shots and he went down? Seemed like it. What else was attacking him? Did the Dreadnought get shots in? Maybe. Maybe it just wasn't full health. Tier 3 all around. In fact, a great unclean ones on the way for Potters. That's a Melter Bomb. Lord Commissar is trying to tie this thing up. Missile launcher shots going in. You've got Vengeance rounds from the Stern Guard 2 of Koda. Can they get the Dreadnought down? Heretics, there's a gaggle of heretics moving in there, doing a lot of work, as you can see. Double aspiring champion heretics can be scary if there's no suppression to control them. Or like a Thunderhammer. Where is he? He's running away. 387 to 298. Raptors spread out there strangely, which helped them avoid damage from the plasma cannon. Good play by Koda. You notice there, they didn't just mash retreat, so they take a bunch of retreat damage. He picked up the weapon first and then hit retreat to minimize the amount of time they're taking those retreat hits. That's something you always think to do in the heat of the moment. Raptors level 2 for Solid Squig. CeeJays are fresh. Level 1. They got some XP though already. Look at that. Here's the Great and Clean one for Potter's super unit for Chaos. Passively damages nearby enemies constantly and has some nasty abilities. Can consume allied units to fuel its energy. We have some Kashyyykin for warMOOSE. And they have all this stuff. Lots of burst damage, and they can specialize themselves with weapons. Grenade launchers or plasma guns. Sorcerer's being shot to death here. If he's not careful, it should be okay. Heretics do not get out of there. Chaos Lord with lightning claws. Had enough of the combi flamer for now. Oh, we got some Chaos Terminators for Potters. There they are. This could be a big old fight here over the contested VP. I feel like the blue team have been a little bit timid once they forced off the red team. They haven't really gone out there in numbers to bash. It's been like one player trying to bash with some heretics or something. They haven't really tried to stabilize on the west side too much. I mean, there's not a huge amount they can do. I mean, they can get shrines. Instead of putting them in the mid, could have put some here maybe. A few more havocs and stuff. But they're doing okay. They're having some fun. Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators. And they just push on through. Those Devastators are gone. Yeah, they couldn't stand against all that stuff coming in. Oh, some Assault Terminators now. Unique to the Force Commander. But red team are reeling. They really are reeling. So much stuff for them to deal with now. Are these guys going to get claws, do we think? Claws are coming in. Nope, they just like moved past them. Have they used their teleport? This could be really bad. Marco Zinc CSM there. Some Chaos Terminators there. Being chased by all sorts of stuff. Great Unclean One did take a lot of damage, but that's what he's there for. Well, part of the reason he's there. Wait, why didn't that stun? Does it not stun those guys? I thought Foul Snare stunned. I would have thought he would knock him over as well. Why does it knock him over? It's a bit weird. I think the intestines of a greater demon would drag over a Terminator. That's what I'm going to say. We have more Vanguard veterans. This time for Pope Vader. These guys have a bit of XP. They also have their Power Fist going on. There's no vehicles on the blue team right now, though. Sorcerer having some fun. Level 4, no war gear. Done some work with those Doom Bolts, though, I guess. Smack. Can't quite kill a scout, but is gonna. This power's changed hands a few times now. Can they get on the VP? Red team getting back on the VP, that's for sure. Where did you all go to? They all left the VP. 387 to 179. Another Chimera for warMOOSE. Autocannon of the Terminators are getting in shots. Looks like it's gonna be okay-ish. Big blob of Marines here. That is nuke bait. Blade Champion's gonna die if he's not careful. And does. Just lost track of his Blade Champion. So easy to do in a 3v3, just lose track of something for a few seconds. Red team really fighting back. I was not expecting this. Again, blue team hanging back a bit there. Not wanting to engage. I guess they didn't feel strong enough in that moment. So a lot of plasma coming in on this Great Unclean One. I don't think he should have gone in there. Raptors helping out with some suppression. Terminators having to back off. Grenade launcher Heretics, 2 of them. Could do some good disruption here, but I think the Great Unclean One's done for. Down it goes. It should not have gone into that fight. Should have backed away, I think. 356, 179 is going to explode on death. Massively damaging enemies and healing allies. I don't think anything's close enough to be affected. There we go. Massive rib cage just goes throwing, or is it the spine? I think it's the spine. Well done, red team. I thought they'd been broken then, but Came out swinging. Is that the third Chimera or is that the same one? It has XP, it's probably the same one. Solid SQUIG. Now getting a Great Unclean One. They did, I think they didn't Vader have 2 Tactical Marines? Maybe not. I thought I saw multiple Plasma Gun Marines. Assault Terminators, as you saw, barely getting out of there. And not cheap to reinforce, as you can see. Scouts on capping duty. Blastmaster still having some fun. What are you attacking, dude? What was that? 2-1 for red. Blue team need to mass and hit the red team hard before they start getting Land Raiders up. Maybe go for that VP. Raptors going in. Oh, they didn't suppress the Marines though. Some mines dropped here by the Lord Commissar, wrecking those heretics, as you can see. That was pretty bad for those fellas. Raptors went in a bit early there. If the Raptors actually got the jump on the double Marines, they could have approached much better. As it stands, CeeJay and Potters are kind of waiting for SQUIG to get back out now. Here's a Great Unclean One, another one. And there's the first Land Raider on the way, and some more Kasrkin for warMOOSE, who has preserved their stuff very well here. I think a Chimera went down, and that was it. Even the Sentinel's still alive. Despite all the shooty stuff, it's pretty impressive. Lord Commissar himself, level 5. Big old shooting match here, but they do get jumped. Great Unclean One to counter-initiate. The Assault Squad, Assault Terminators coming in. There's the cloud of flies, and here's another Great Unclean One from Potters, the third. I wonder if Potters could have used their warp to save the first Great Unclean One, maybe. Lightning Claw Chaos Terminators against Assault Terminators with Thunderhammers. The Claws should win handily. Those guys are getting shredded. Able to teleport away. Great Unclean One's there though. And they want to fight him. What are you doing, fellas? Great Unclean One's going to get a kill. There's the foul snare. And down they go. Great Unclean One doesn't actually do splash damage with its melee attacks these days. But there's a hell of a lot of single target damage. Stern Guard. Need to be careful. There we go. Got them Vengeance rounds loaded in there to shoot Terminators and Great Unclean Ones with. Chaos Lord gets a revive. Hits level 7. He's ready to roll Mantle of Hate and now the Icon of Khorne. Oh, hit with a missile. Hitting back well there, the blue team, and a well-timed hit as well. Hope Vader now depleted just as the Land Raider comes out. Still a triple cap for red though. They need to cap stuff. Catachans. Nerves of steel as a Chaos Lord comes lumbering towards them. There's an explosion, knock him over, it must. Great Unclean One here probably needs to waddle back to base. Decent Blastmaster hit. Do they have any like dedicated anti-vehicle? I don't think they do. They have a couple of these Demon Mauls. And of course the Terminators can do some work. Oh, they're both Claws. These guys have an autocannon note. Double cap now. Chaos Lord gets it. Kill the weak on the Catachans. There's the Imperial Abyss, and that is from Solid SQUIG. Gets everything out of there. I don't think it killed anything though. Oh, killed that fella. Was that a Noise Marine? How did you get dragged from there? That guy got smacked. And why doesn't Imperial Abyss pull in retreating units anymore? I think it could because it could snipe like sub commanders and stuff. Maybe, which felt a bit too punishing. It's a freaking nuke though. And rocks and stuff knocks over retreating units. quite a precise nuke, the Imperial Abyss, because you want to catch stuff in that very center where it's doing like 200 heavy melee DPS or something mental. 132 to 139. That's a rocket run from warMOOSE, and those guys ran right into it, and an orbital now. Frantic ending. Chaos Lord is dead. Dead in the beam. Terminators fight Terminators. Great and Clean One is going to die to ranged fire here. He was so far forward. And this one, oh, he's getting worshipped, but he should be back at base. Worship is going to take forever to heal that guy. Another nuke. It killed a whole bunch of Marines there. And they're going to retreat right into it. Ouch. And here was me saying that the nuke should be improved by putting in retreating units. That's why it doesn't. It's so devastating if you can hit it right. I guess every nuke is. That was a lot of dead. Was it Marines? I don't think it was Marines. Because those were 12 red. Maybe it was. I think it was Kasichin and stuff. 132 to 96. This Land Raider Redeemer is way too close to this Predator tank. Down it goes. Great and Clean One should turn around here. It's going in. I mean, it's going to be okay, but should not have walked in because the player didn't know what was back here, waiting and lurking. But they're going for it. Want to create some space for capping, but look at this. Scout's getting some capping done. I think the Sentinel maybe got a decap. And they are finishing it. Potters only has 2 Chaos Terminator squads. And that's awesome. If you want 2 of something, Terminators isn't bad. Oh, Great and Clean One's going to get himself killed here. This is madness. Not only did it walk into an unnecessary situation, but it stayed there forever. Down it goes. Oh, down goes the Predator tank in short order. Cyclone missile launcher. Maybe I didn't actually spot what did that. Here's another one. No mark. Chaos Lord now wants to go. Level 9. Can he get in? Those claws are painful. These are level 4 Marines though. And those are Terminators. And he's all alone. This is just a bad play. Just a bad play. Gonna go down. Oh, Force 1 using Battle Cry. Preventing the knockback. Oh, gets killed though. That knocked him over. Here comes a little flank by the red team. Very topsy-turvy game. 90 to 84. It's so close. What is this? Drop pod? It's just more Terminators. Of course it is. From Koda. Thunderhammers might be able to get on the tank, but it is smacking up Chaos Marines for now. There's another good nuke from Solid SQUIG. We've seen some really good ones. Chaos Terminators with claws. Are they backing away? Here we go. They want to get on those Terminators, but there's plasma guns and all sorts of stuff waiting. 61-84 on the VPs. Blue team are eventually going to get a VP back. Potters is floating quite a lot here actually. Not sure what they're waiting for. Great and Clean One, maybe it's 200 power, I think. A Lehman Russ for warMOOSE. Is that the first Lehman Russ? That's amazing. 51 to 84. 2 to 1 for red. GG says Vader. So does warMOOSE. They think it's over here. Could be right. Sentinel, which survived. Oh, I was going to say survived the game. But the Marcos Inc. CSM get on it and it goes down in a flash. Amazing that it survived that long. Big champion getting stuck in. There's the Pestilent Strike. Stunning stuff, and also a big range reduction aura. Goes in and some Marines. Now switches targets again. 31 to 84. Some mines dropped in. Blue team, you need to cap this, fellas. Force Commander goes down. I think the Chaos Lord is going for the VP there. Yep. Chaos Lord goes for the VP. There's an orbital though. Could be nasty. Oh no. didn't put an orbital beam on the VP to stop the cap. Big mistake there, I think. I believe that was Vader. Were they trying to kill the tank? Maybe it was a full health though. I don't know why you wouldn't put a beam on the VP there. Lehman Russ doesn't want to go in alone, which is smart. Chimera is off though. I guess there's something in there. Might get a decap at least because there's nothing around. Noise Marines have done well. Level 4. There's the 2-to-1 for blue team. Down to 31 VPs though. Look at this. warMOOSE is going to get a decap at least. Probably actually a cap. Although, blue team are on their VP now. Reviving the Sorcerer. Plague Champion is level 5 here. Sorcerer with no war gear whatsoever. No Chains of Torment for those big blobs of Marines. No Tome of Subjugation for the Terminators. Might have been able to do a bunch more in those big fights. We got 2 Shrines to Khorne going up. They will spawn bloodletters periodically. There you go. And another one. And I think you're limited to 3 Shrines. Is that still true? Might not be true. Also gives you a damage buff. There's those yellow buff circles. Blastmaster doing some work. Uh-oh. Orbital for the Shrines. And a little bit for the tank. I assume it one-shots the Shrine here. Let's have a look. There he goes. Did not take out the other ones though. 31, 32. 1-to-1 cap. Maybe much closer than that. Execution of Lehman Russ is a really bad fight for you fellas to take. You have the wrong weapons and you'll be shot at with the right weapon. Looks like they are going to get away. The circle of summoning there from Potters. SQUIG is down to a single Predator tank trying to do some work. Red team holding on to that VP though, and they might have it now with a double cap. They have it. There it is. There's the GG. Frantic ending. I felt like the blue team were a little bit standoffish. I mean, it's easy to say just watching. But they like hung around the mid a bit in early tier 3 and late tier 2 when they should have been focusing on this VP. It was a little bit odd. It was a fun game. 3 Chaos Terminator squads of Potters at the end. We don't need anything else. Level 7 Force Commander here with that Thunderhammer. Level 9 Force Commander for Vader did a hell of a lot of work. And a level 8 Lord Commissar, also the level 10 Chaos Lord. Got some work done with those claws, eh? And the Plague Champion level 6 and down at the end. There you have it guys. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time.